Good morning, everyone. This is Dana from NexGen, and I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. During the month of April, which is Financial Literacy Month, we've been doing a wealth case study on Generation Z cohort Tracy. This is part 3 of that case study, and I will put the playlist at the top of the screen and in the description below. Today, we are discussing Tracy's financial journey. When Tracy started working for the accounting firm as an intern in 2016, her 5-year goal was to save at least 12 months of expenses. The reason why she selected 12 months was because her parents told her if she signed a 12-month lease, she would have to have 12 months of expenses saved in case of an emergency. Even if she had a roommate, she would have to be prepared to pay the entire amount if the roommate decides to leave. In researching places to live, Tracy knew she did not have 12 months of expenses saved, let alone one. So she decided to stay home while she worked for the time being. She started by saving $1,000. Tracy was confident her plan would help her avoid lifestyle inflation. Now, if you don't know what lifestyle inflation is, another term you may have heard is called lifestyle creep. And that is when your income goes up, so does your spending. Now, lifestyle inflation is what causes people to get stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck because they have just enough money to pay the bills every month. So let's look at her plan. When Tracy was born, her parents opened a savings account for her. So because she was under the age of 18, her parents had to be the primary, but it was her account. And all of the monetary gifts that she received went into that account. So when Tracy turned 18, she became the primary owner of that account. So that is where she had her paycheck go. She also opened a high yield money market account. Now, the credit union required her to keep at least $1,000 in that money market account. So she moved her funds from the money market, the money that she had accrued, she moved that into the money market account and always kept $1,000 in the savings account. When she received her pay from the accounting firm, $1,000 was retained in the savings account and the remainder was dispersed to the household and her personal expenses. Now, at first glance, this plan may look a little aggressive. The good news is Tracy does not have any debt and she pays her credit card in full every month. So she doesn't pay interest or fees. Also, during the 5 years, her friends were either in college or going into the military or working. So everyone was busy. And this is how Tracy dispersed her pay. If you go back to the part 2 video, you'll see that Tracy started as an intern making $32,318. And that is her gross pay. So after taxes and insurance, she brought home $22,622.60 a year, or $1,885.22 a month. Because her paycheck went straight to savings, she actually paid herself first. So $1,000 stayed in the savings account. That, of course, that helped her reach her goal. She gave $500 to her parents, and the remainder she spent on herself and her car. Tracy regularly volunteered for overtime. When her pay increased, the $1,000 going into savings or remaining in savings, and the $500 that went to the household remained unchanged. Tracy still wanted to live independently, so in 2018, Tracy and her parents sat down and had a conversation. When Tracy and her parents sat down, they were looking at their options to help Tracy make a decision on how she would live independently. One of the options was to find an affordable apartment or condominium. The challenge was that Tracy still had not met her financial goal of 12 months of expenses. Another option would be to renovate the lower level of their home. Tracy's parents' house had 3 levels, so the lower level could be renovated for Tracy. Unfortunately, she would be sharing the common areas. For example, they still would be sharing a kitchen, and the lower level only had a half bath. Another option would be to add a what they call mother-in-law suite or cottage at the back of the property. Adding that type of structure will require a permit, which could take some time and it may not be approved. The next option was to move to a home that already had an approved cottage. Well, Tracy's parents had wanted to move to a one-level home anyway, so they contacted Damon Holland from Holland's Home Team. Now, some of you may know who Damon is. Damon Holland is NexGen's go-to for purchasing, renting, and leasing property. And I'm going to leave his contact information in the description below. Tracy and her parents met with Damon, and he helped them find a one-level home with a cottage in the back of the property that met their specifications. To purchase the property, they had to add an additional $150,000. Now, they owned their home outright without a mortgage, but to buy the new property, they needed to add an additional $150,000. So they took those funds from their family bank. Now, information about their family bank is also in the description below. Tracy lives independently in her 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. If she decides to move, her parents can use the cottage for visiting family and friends, or they can actually use it as a rental property. Although Tracy moved into the cottage in 2018, she continued saving the $1,000 a month, which after 5 years would be $60,000. She did not sacrifice having fun with her family and friends. And even when her employer talked about reducing staff in 2020, Tracy had her emergency fund to fall back on. She was grateful that she did not have to use it. Her employer found a workaround and no one lost their job. Tracy's money market grew to over $75,000 in 2021. She completed her internship. She completes her internship next month, and it also comes with a promotion. Even though Tracy is not making the 6 figures at her job like some of her colleagues, she has met her financial goals. Tracy's next goal is to get married and to start her family. After all that has gone on these past 4 years, she is preparing herself to be a stay-at-home mother. More on that later. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that Tracy's financial journey was informative. Additional information is in the description below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.